Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1996 movie Hellraiser Bloodline. So in this movie, we see the origins of the puzzle box and stuff, and it shows different generations of this family, of the guy who created the puzzle box. We see the creation of it at the beginning of the movie, set in the 1700s, and then it goes to the present for a little bit, and then it goes to the future, where it's set in outer space. And this guy who's from the 22nd century, his name is Philip, I think. I don't know. I don't really care about the characters in this movie, to be honest, but he's like a descendant of the character we see in the 1700s and the 1990s and stuff, and he's trying to find a way to destroy the puzzle box and everything so that the Cenobites and stuff don't attack any more people. And this movie is just mediocre as heck. Yeah, I really did not like this movie very much. It had a good concept. I love the past, present, future concept and everything, but it is very poorly executed. It just didn't feel like it was executed very well. And like the costumes when they're in the 1700s, they look really fake and cheap and everything. Like a lot of period pieces, they at least put effort into their stuff, but this movie and the period piece scenes, they didn't really put a lot of effort into it, and I didn't think it looked very good. And a lot of the visual effects in here are hit and miss. There are some really good practical effects, especially these demon dog things that look really cool, but there's some really bad CGI too from the 90s. 90s CGI most of the time doesn't hold up. There are occasions where it does, but this is definitely not one of them. This movie does not hold up very well at all as far as that goes, and the story is just not very entertaining. I heard that there might be a director's cut. I don't know, but I don't even know that I'd really want to see it. I'm not that invested into this franchise. But I think the movie is okay. It's not god-awful garbage, but it's definitely not good garbage either, if that makes sense, which there really isn't such a thing as good garbage. That's just something I made up, I guess. I guess you could say good garbage is like B-movies or stuff like that, and this could have been a fun B-movie, but they take the tone too seriously. It's still in the same tone with the other movies, which I somewhat respect that, because a lot of times when franchises go to space, they change the tone and everything. But this movie, I think, could have benefited from a more lighthearted campiness. We saw a little bit of a campiness in Pinhead in the previous movie. I think they had an opportunity to go even more with it, which would have made a lot of fans mad, I know, and it may or may not have bothered me. It depends how it was executed. I'm personally somebody that loves movies like Freddy's Dead for their campiness, so I probably could have enjoyed it more if it was more campy and lighthearted and fun, but they kept the serious tone and everything, and having it in space with the serious tone just does not work. I think that it can work if it's made to be that way, but this movie, the franchise has already been established. It's not really meant to be an in-space thing. It was just them running out of ideas and everything. I can see why it was the last one to go to theaters. But this movie had some decent kills in here. There were some cool kills, not near as good as in the first three movies, really, because the third one even had better kills. But some of the kills were pretty good in here. Really the best thing about the movie, though, is really Pinhead. He's great, and I've always loved Doug Radley as Pinhead ever since I've seen the first movie, which has only been a few days, so I don't know why I'm saying always, like it's been a long time. I've always loved the design of Pinhead, but I think he's really cool in here. Once again, he saves the movie. Whenever he's on screen, it's worth watching. When he's not, it's not. But this movie is just, it could have been so much better. It had a lot of potential and everything, but it just fell flat. I was really hoping for more with this one than we got. I had heard that this was one of the worst movies in the franchise, and I can see why a lot of people don't like it. It had some good potential, and I think there's a good story in there somewhere. If it would have been written better, I think it could have been better. But Alan Smithy even is a pseudonym for directors who don't want their name to be attached to a movie. And Kevin Yeager, who directed this movie, used the Alan Smithy name so that he wouldn't have to be credited for this movie. That's how bad it did and everything. It's crazy. But yeah, so I'd say I'd give Hellraiser Bloodline a 4 out of 10. It's not very enjoyable. The visuals are pretty cool, and Doug Bradley is excellent as Pinhead as always, but aside from that, it's not that great. And it's kind of cool getting to see Adam Scott in one of his first movies, and everyone talks about how Paul Rudd doesn't age, but Adam Scott really hasn't aged either. He doesn't look hardly any different in this movie than he did in Step Brothers or Krampus, which came out just a few years ago. I haven't seen him in anything recently, but I'm guessing he really doesn't look that different now. He hasn't really aged much, is what I'm trying to get at. He looks like he's aged maybe 10 years in the last 20 or 24 years since this came out. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Hellraiser Bloodline. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.